we realize that human life is a playing consciousness, and all of us are playing our predestined roles for ourselves and for everyone else. Every situation and encounter has meaning for us to recognize. If we pay attention, our inner guidance gives us understanding. At the same time, we can shape the qualities of our experiences with our intentional thoughts and emotions, both conscious and subconscious. The light holds great promise of a better life, one that will lead you to greater abundance and happiness. As you enter the door, the light becomes so bright that it is blinding. You cannot see what is in front of you, but you push forward, believing that it is the best way forward. As your eyes adjust to the light, a beautiful garden appears. It is filled with every flower, tree, and shrub imaginable, and its beauty is hypnotic. So become see-through, and therefore you live your highest soul truth with great love. With joy, with inspiration, embracing abundance in all and every way, and find beauty and harmony and balance everywhere. You are open and everyone can read you, for you are living your truth, your thoughts, words and deeds reflected. So does your whole life. At the moment, so many are feeling this on levels they are not always conscious of, and then wonder why they are stuck. Or why everything seems to be disintegrating in and around them, or that the old patterns and forms simply do not seem to work anymore. Indeed, it seems like hard work and effort trying to get them to work. And the more you try, the more they jam and dysfunction. And this includes all areas of life. All of these awful events are designed so that you and I will feel traumatized, trapped, helpless, very sad for those affected. Or very traumatized if we are ourselves affected by the fires or anything else, a hurricane, tornado, earthquake, anything like that. So my question to them is, how do we deal with this and keep our energies and our outlook positive and high? Because these beautiful, incredible solar rays pouring in, they're so full of joy, and they're so full of healing power and regenerative and renewing power. So it's also an amazing time of renewal, and if we can accept grace and a kind of forgiveness, a new form of calm regarding everything we're going through and everything we've ever experienced in this other lives. So I'm asking if the collective will answer and assist us with that, and I'll bring them in. The collective, greetings, dear ones. Because of this, everything we experience is self-created by our doubts and fears, as well as our transcendent presence. We choose the energetic quality we will participate in and experience. We are all interconnected in consciousness. Each of us is our own unique person with a deep connection to the consciousness that creates everything. In order to play an authentic human role, we must create a mindset with parameters to our awareness. As long as we stay in this mindset, we cannot know our true essence, but we can find clues to direct us deeper within our presence. These clues can be anything, and they are directed to us in ways that each of us can recognize. But you are not allowed in so as to preserve its perfection. The light is too bright. The people on this side do not talk to you, and the life you thought would be better is entirely foreign to you. You feel as unhappy as before. Despondently, you take yourself back to the door to resume the life that you had but did not appreciate. What if the door is closed and you cannot get back? The life you thought was not good enough is suddenly warm and comforting to you. What will you do? All of this is showing you where you are still clinging on to old, attached to it in some form or another, and these include old behavior patterns, old habits, old thoughts and thought systems, old ways of life and living and relating. This not only in your own life and immediate circles, but in all of life and all structures and forms. This includes countries and governing powers, and indeed it seemingly is getting more chaotic and messier. Notice the seeming, for indeed, it is a spinning out of illusions, for in fact they do not exist anymore. Except in the minds of humanity and in the minds of those who think they are in charge, when in truth they are not anymore. We need to leave it all behind us now, yet we cannot leave it all behind when we are still attached in some form or another. Not wish to give up our comfort zones or whatever old patterns and forms we still do not wish to dissolve. And this includes forgiveness of self and others, and all those things which are still pushing your buttons and causing you to negatively react. All these things happening are serving you to remind you to stay centered and focus on ascending and morphing into the light body, and to not allow all the yapping dogs to distract you. And so, our writer has asked that we speak specifically amongst these very beautiful waves, each one unique, each one empowered with its own voice and presence and spirit. They are a kind of miracle, as the sea is a miracle, and the land, and all of you, likewise great miracles. And so the question has been asked, how do we deal with all of these lower vibrational attempts to keep us down and hold us back? And certainly, this is correct. The idea is to hold people in a place not simply of fear, but of obedience. That if you want to stay alive and keep your friends and family near you and also well, you will have to follow directions and also put up with real loss. And that isn't really true, and all of you have realized that in your own way. Any more than it's true that you need to fundamentally change who you are in order to be acceptable. This is not true. In our essence, we are all masters of every aspect of life. But in our ego consciousness, we cannot realize this. If we follow our inner clues and guidance, always searching for the most life-enhancing thoughts and feelings, we can realize a world that we can inhabit now by directing our imagination and feelings to living in the realm we truly want. It is the vibratory polarity and frequency of our perspective and state of being that attracts our experiences, and we can intentionally control this. We can learn to control our thoughts and emotions in ways that inspire and stimulate us with gratitude and good feelings. We can disengage entirely from negativity and instead follow the wonderful desires of our heart. As we clarify our mental and emotional processes, we can focus more acutely on what we know is life-enhancing for all of us. Everything exists in our own consciousness, and we can open our awareness to this. Without limiting beliefs about ourselves, we can realize our true nature beyond time and space and in other forms and persons, as well as our human presence. It is all available for our awareness and realization. When we realize the reality of someone or something, it becomes real in our experience. This realization comes from our intentional opening to it and feeling its energetic presence. We can intentionally create our own reality in interaction with the consciousness of humanity. Your world will not change if you do not change your perception of your place within it, what you deserve and the responsibility you hold in terms of the power of your thoughts and words. Changing homes, schools, states, or countries of residences will not solve any problems if you have not taken stock of why life may be difficult for you. Why are people not talking to you? Why are you unhappy? Why is life seemingly hard for you while it is easy for others? Listen to your words and reflect on what you are putting out to the universe every day, and then you may be able to see the answers. What you do and say says everything about how you feel about yourself and how much responsibility you take or lay on others for the situations you find yourself in. Are you open to seeing that your behavior affects and is reflected in the responses of people you interact with? Can you see that you are either attracting or repelling the abundance of the universe with every positive or negative thought, word, and deed? You are the creator of your world, and only you can change it. And yet, all of your soul groups have taken this on, and you've all said, collectively as one voice, we're going to move forward in ways that release the density of the third dimension and the old power structure. We're not going to bring that with us. Indeed, you cannot bring it with you. There's nothing about the fifth dimension on your new earth that desires to bring forth any vestige of the old. And sometimes a cleansing occurs, and that can happen physically, and sometimes a release occurs, which can also happen physically. And all of you work very hard in your sleep state to bring that about. Now, how do you do that? All right. There are alchemical processes which you and many others have enabled on this planet, which take place in the etheric. So it's not going to look like an alchemy laboratory. It's not going to look like a place where there are grand experiments going on, per se, because it's all happening energetically. The laboratory, if you need one, is this planet. And this was always to be a place of experimentation. A place of great diversity. You have all certainly achieved that, with increasing levels of love and acceptance of diversity, racially and otherwise. In the same vein, you cannot help anyone who does not wish to be helped. Not should you lose yourself in the woes of the world, as doing so will only add to them. All you can do, which will make the most difference, is to be the best person you can be. The first powerful thing to do is to let go of the past and embrace the future. Live in the moment and be thankful for your life. See life as a blessing and a gift, and filter out anything that is not of importance to you or your loved ones. So every day, write and say 3 affirmations that brings your consciousness to the present and on positive goals for the future. The next thing to do is to be specific and clear on what it is you wish to change, release, or manifest in your life. State it all clearly and concisely to the universe, then let go of all attachment to it. Thirdly, make a plan. What actions do you need to take to make your wishes into reality? Take charge and put them into practice without hesitation or doubt. Lastly, look at your belief system and work to release and change old negative thought patterns and feelings that have kept you stuck for so long. Focus on love and see as much good as you can in all things. Believe in the power of your mind and its connection to the universal mind to create all that you need and want in your life.